Hey, what's up, everybody? So I'm going to show you something that I looked online, couldn't find anything about it. Very difficult to find any information on this topic. All about how to stream a recorded video into Zoom, and particularly this will work best in webinar format because you don't have all the other faces with you. So if you're using Zoom webinar, they don't have a function built in where you can just play back a video. But it's possible to do so two ways. Okay, what's one of the two ways? Well, one of the ways is very simple. As if you open up Zoom, and let's just log into Zoom here on my computer. Alright, so I'm just going to create like a new meeting. And this will work for a webinar too. It doesn't really matter. It can be a meeting. What I'm going to show you will work either way. So what you could do is open up a video. And this is kind of the sort of a ghetto way to do it, but it does work. Let's say we have this video file right here.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the ChatGPT Prompt Academy. This is going to be the final lesson of this training here. And I'm excited because we're going to be going into some even more.
So this is a video file. If I play it over here in this window, and I make it full screen, and I play it back, but I share that screen, and then play back the video.
Higher level stuff. This is a more advanced training. Please go through the previous lessons if you're new here. Now, something that I want to mention is, again, there's a couple ways to access GPT-4 that you can use. And some of them are free.
So what we're doing is
are paid. GPT-4 is so powerful.
We're playing this back through Zoom. The problem is with this is that if I lower the window or anything, people can tell that it's being played back that way. Okay, so that's kind of a jank way of doing it. Is like if you actually have a video file playing back, you can do it that way. The audio is also really weird because you're not linking the audio in. It's just playing back basically random. It's whatever audio comes through your microphone. And so that's kind of weird. The way that I like to do it and the way that we've done it, that I find is a lot cleaner and almost instantaneous, is that if you utilize OBS, and listen, I'm not going to walk you through how to use these softwares. If you want a tutorial on how to use OBS, how to use Zoom, how to use video in general, you're gonna have to learn some of that through a different training. This is just to show you the simple way to actually stream video through Zoom. So obviously we can play back a video file and then share the screen and then put the microphone up to our video. That's a really jank way to do it. I prefer doing it through OBS. And so if we have OBS open right now, I'm actually recording this video in OBS. So I'm gonna open up another OBS window. Just launch another one right here. And so that's right here. And so what we can do is we can select a media source. And you can select any video file right here. Let's just say that this is a video file of me talking. Okay, so there I am right now, and you can see there's an audio output that says media source right there. Okay? And so what you can do is this has, in OBS, is a function called virtual camera. So if we press start virtual camera, and then we go back to the Zoom meeting right here, let's say that this is the Zoom meeting, and I put virtual camera as the video, check this out. Now it's going to play back the video out of OBS as if it's the actual Zoom camera that I'm running. It's not a screen share. So the virtual camera is actually running straight out of OBS from the video file that we're playing back right here. through the virtual camera, and it's a one-to-one perfect representation of the video file that we're playing back. And so if somebody's watching this in a meeting or a webinar, it looks exactly like this is a live broadcast right here. Okay? The problem with this is there's no audio. Okay? So how do you have audio? Well, that's where we have to get a tool called virtual cable. Okay? So virtual cable is a very simple, it's free, Mac and Windows. And what virtual cable is you know how like when you connect a wire from one cable to another, an audio cable, you ever connected an audio cable from one thing to a speaker? We don't really have, a lot of times we use Bluetooth now, so a lot of people don't know how cables work. But just imagine that like you have a wire that connects one device to another. So this is a virtual cable. So what I do is I just install this free virtual cable right here. Mac or Windows, it works. And then what you got to do is in OBS, to get the audio to go through, you have to go to Settings in OBS, go to Audio, and you got to select Monitoring Device as Cable Input Audio Virtual Cable. Okay? And I'll leave that checked right there. And then under Media Source, we go to Advanced Audio Properties, and we select Media Source, Monitor, and Output. Okay? So what this does is now in Zoom, we are able to change our microphone source to be virtual cable output, and then we turn on original sound for musicians. Boom. And it's playing back the audio from our event. Watch this. I'm going to show you this, how this works. Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to test the mic here in Zoom. Watch. Test the mic. And you'll be able to hear it play back in just a second. Give it to you. We're going to say, take the following. We're going to test the mic again. This is the audio coming from the recorded file. Instructions in another. That I'm playing back in Zoom. You understand. And the audio is playing in here as if it's the live audio right alongside the Zoom. Now what you might notice is, if you do this, you might notice that there's a slight lag between the audio and video. You might be shocked to realize this if you didn't notice. See, I thought it was just the recording was doing that. Every time you do a Zoom meeting, there's actually a slight delay between the audio and video, whether you're live or not. And so that's a very interesting fact just about how the Zoom system works. Is I have been on stuff that I know is live, and I've watched it from another machine. There's a slight delay as well, whether you're playing it back or not. So really, it is one-to-one exactly the same as if you're running it live or not. And so what this allows you to do with the combination of virtual cable and OBS acting as the virtual camera, you're outputting the virtual camera, you're playing back the media source. We want to mute all these. And then you have your virtual cable sending the audio into Zoom right here into the virtual cable output. And you want to have this original sound for musicians part on. I found that was the big unlock that actually made it work, is leaving that on. So I go to not Zoom optimized audio, but original sound for musicians, high fidelity music mode and stereo mode in the settings. And then that actually makes it show up and play back really nicely, which is good. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Like, it's not much more complicated than that. You might have to mess with it a little bit to get it to work for you, but that's the cleanest way to play back a video file through Zoom, and it'll play it back as if you're live. It'll play it back, so you could pre-record a session and then play it back as if you're live. Obviously, there's other platforms that you can do this with for YouTube and Facebook and all of that. One of my favorites is called StreamYard. We actually use that for a lot of broadcasts. Even like this video right here, you know, I'll tell you, it's live right now. But we could take a video recorded file and I could play it back through StreamYard, and it'll go to all of my different platforms that we have. I could play back any of these video files, in fact, that we've done, and it'll play them back on the different platforms that we have. And so, but Zoom doesn't have an easy function to do that, so you got to use the virtual cable and OBS and connect them together, and then that will allow you to be able to run, if you want to run a recording through a webinar and actually host it in Zoom. This is how you do it. This is how you can actually pre-record and then play back that recording in Zoom if you so want to do that. So there you go.